while he may be found.
So,
Peace. Look at this.
Shalom Yeshua.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadash.
Dash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to those of the Akim. Let's preach the word and all truth of the sick. So we believe the Israelites here to prophesy America's downfall, which America is down on the great according to the scriptures. We're here to sow the seed, and the Most High will provide the increase. The seed is the word, here to teach the word. Esau, even the so-called white man, according to the Bible, and the MOTB is the charagma, or digital all, according to Revelation 13:16. As brothers know, the title of the video, seek the Lord while he may be found for you Israelites, man. Because it's going to be a point in time when the Lord is not going to be found by way of his prophets, man, because, let's get that, start with Isaiah 55:6.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6. And it reads, Seek ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near.
Right, so seek the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai while he may be found. The Lord can be easily found right now by way of the internet and on the highways and byways by way of his prophets, man. Because it's going to be a point in time when, the Lord's not going to be found. Because the famine of the world is going to hit in.
I can add on to the saying too, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's easy right now. Right now it's easy, man. You can just say to your brother on the YouTube, yeah, okay, what do you guys push? Come out to camp, boom, stand on the other side. That's seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and then one day you put your hand to the plow. That's how it starts. Alright?
But it starts out with repentance first. Repentance to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Isaiah 55. Real quick,
Alright, so the book of Isaiah chapter 56 verse 7, even them will I bring
55%.
Oh, 55%. Alright, so book of Isaiah chapter 55 verse 7, alright, basically, the next verse, let the wicked forsake his way.
Right, now the wicked, in the context of this scripture, it's talking about the Israelites, the wicked Israelites that have been seduced by the ways of the wicked man that's still in the world.
And the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon.
Right, so in order for you to seek the Lord first and foremost, it starts out with repentance. And that's another thing that we here to teach too, is repentance, man. For people to come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, because by you lean on to your own understanding, by you lean on your own counsel, that's going to be null and void, man. The Lord's going to found all the wisdom out here, and you're going to be left out there stranded, man. With no hedge of protection.
You will, for my thoughts and not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Right, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is on a higher vibration, on a higher level, man. We're seeing that, a lot of smash and grabs out here in California, So, we're seeing that the love of many is waxing cold, man, which that's prophecy as well. As our Lord Yahweh Shai said, and in 2nd Ezra 15th chapter. So we're seeing these things, but these are the beginning of sorrows, man. It's only going to escalate, get worse and worse, man.
Alright, and guess what? The word is not going to be out that day, man. So these people, Babylonians, thinking this cool, and they can just come at us at the, hey, man, they're going to be asked out. Book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
So how do you hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? By way of the preachers. If you look at
Alright, so So the book of Romans chapter 10 verse 14, and it reads, how then shall they call on him whom, call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? How shall they hear without a preacher?
Right, so the preacher goes into being a prophet. So that's how you hear the words of Yahweh Shemon Shah, because the prophets are the mouthpiece of the Lord. You know?
All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh.
Yeah, because our people are going backwards. They're not going forward, man. You know?
It says, for I am married unto you.
Yeah, that the Lord is married unto us by way of the law, statutes, commandments. You
And
know?
I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
Which are the elect. So the Lord is not dealing with everyone in your family, man. You know, the Lord is dealing with the elect. You know?
It says, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Right, and then our apostle Elizabeth Milson today, whether you believe it or not, man, we believe it by faith. And those gotta be the men. They be out installing Apostle Harvey laboring since the 80s, man. Since before a lot of us was even born. You know? So then our apostle Elizabeth Milson to the brothers on down. You know, that he's feeding us, they're feeding us with the truth. You know?
Alright, so back to the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. And it reads, behold, the days come, said Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Shai.
Yo, so we hear the words by way of the preacher or the prophet. You know?
And they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Shai, and shall not find it.
Right, and that's gonna be all these people running with their heads cut off, man. You know, chicken with their heads cut off because they ain't gonna have no answers.
Yeah,
because
no direction.
Right, because there's gonna be crying for wine in the streets, man. You know, while it was yet liberty, a place of repentance was open to them, but yet they despise it, man. You know.
They shall run to and fro to seek. Yes, sir. They shall run to and fro to seek Yahweh Shai, and shall not find it.
Right, so they're gonna be coming to the camps. You know, where them brothers down? We used to see them every week. You know, on the internet. You know, you're not gonna find the prophets, man. You know, why? Because the Lord's gonna put the spirit on Esau to shut down his internet, man. You know, and by way of all these checkpoints too. You know.
Yeah, you got brothers that drop their location when they're pushing camp. You know, brothers from Inland Empire to Great Millstone Inland Empire. You know, they drop their location. They tell you they off Syria. You know, so that's, you could go to them and learn the word from them. Okay, like you bring it out before camp, people make a lot of excuses. You could probably go into that account of the spirit. You know, in that day, so continuing on reading, in that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst.
Right. The fair virgins are these women, you know, and men, and the men faint for thirst of the truth. You know, because they, you know. Okay.
This is Isaiah chapter 24. I'm going to start at 7. It says that new wine mourneth, divine languages, all the merry-hearted do sigh.
Right, and that's all these people of the world, man. That's in our merry spirit, that's in our mirth spirit. That's going to soon come to pass, which is coming. It's already here right now. Like we were saying off camera, a lot of these people are just shooken up, walking down the streets, man. You know, why? Because Esau has instilled that fear in them, or this new variants of the vaccine, man. You know.
And that new wine is the United States wisdom. Worldly wisdom. It says, the birth of timbre ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceases.
And that's all your music, man. You know, all your entertainment, you know, all that's gonna cease, man. You know, because it says in Ecclesiastes that the music shall, the God's music shall be brought low already, so the music is already on low vibration. The Lord's gonna hear all this shit real soon, man. These concerts where you people love to go to and escape your reality, all this hell you're going through in the world, the Lord gonna deal with all that shit, man. You know?
It says they shall not drink wine with a song.
Yeah, because wine goes well with music, you know. Because a lot of people drink wine to escape them the hell they're going through, man. So the Lord won't do away with that too, you know.
It says they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink. The city of confusion is broken down.
And this is the city of confusion, America. Babylon the Great, man. You know, you got the LGBT movement. You know, the alphabet movement. You know, all this place is out of order, out of course, as it says in the book of Psalms, man. The light is as darkness, and darkness is as light. We are in the valley of the shadow of death, man. You know, how are you dying by way of music, eating food? You know, you got these the trees is morning. You know, this concrete is fucking up our knees, our legs, man. But it's got back ailments. But it's got dietary ailments. You know, so this place is nothing filled with confusion, man. You know.
You got the Republicans and the Democrats. Which, you know, scriptures speak about Esau, the house divided. You know, Satan cast out Satan. You know, he's divided. So that's another way this place is broken down. You know, you don't have no righteous standard. You know, it's division. It's either you believe the righteousness of the Republicans or you believe the righteousness of the Democrats. People are confused. People are at odds. Division. You got people preaching false doctrine. You know, that's the way this place is broken down. You got the prophets out here, you know, starting with elders and apostles, and then you got false prophets. You know, then you got your Christian, Baptist, Catholic, and all those, you know, denominations under that speaking false doctrine, different lifestyles. That's how this place is broken down.
I got a piece of just to back that one up. Book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 2. And it reads, you want to start from the top? I'll start from the top. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh Yahushua rideth upon a swift cloud.
Right, that's going to be when our Lord Yahushua make his second coming. Because according to Acts, the first chapter, as the angels told the men of Galilee, which were the apostles, they said, as you see him going up, leaving, you're going to see him coming back in the same fashion. So that applies to our Lord Yahushua coming back in a swift cloud, a swift chariot, man. The chariots are very quick and fast, man. You know?
Hey, they're on a whole nother level, man. A whole nother dimension, if you will. All right?
It says Egypt, right?
Yeah.
It said because Esau is a new pharaoh, you know?
You know, Revelations 11 and 8 go into that, man. The great city, which is spiritually called Sodom in Egypt. You know, it's all parabolically speaking about this place. You know? And it reads, behold, Yahweh Yahushua rideth upon a swift cloud, and he shall come into Egypt, meaning this land. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Yep. And that's talking about the actual destruction, man. You know? When our Lord Yahushua come back, at the same time as the missiles are coming down simultaneously, all the idols of Egypt is going to be moved at the presence thereof, man. Because all the idols are going to be moved out of their places. Idols. Now I was saying about Revelation 6.
You know, and also too, you know, that goes into all the monuments here. You know, all the monuments over here. You got the you know, Mount Rushmore. You know, with all those heads, you know, of these different founding fathers of America, that's going to be destroyed. You got the different monuments, Egyptian monuments that go back to, you know, obelisks and things of that nature that go back to Egypt. That's going to be destroyed. All right, you got the Bohemian Grove, you know, and secret places that these devils go, congregate, and they worship, and not just these devils, but also to the sellouts. You know, the whole Hollywood community, if you will, the whole Hollywood church, if you will. That's going to be destroyed. The American way of life is going to be destroyed. The American dream is going to turn into a nightmare. It reads, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right, so you know, the heart of Egypt, the American mind state, is going to melt. Everything that just
wisdom too. Wisdom of this place.
Yeah, everything that is basically how do I put it to you? And I'm just gonna continue on. You know, brought it out.
Well, basically, you know, the whole lifestyle, the culture, you know, the wisdom is all going to be broken down. You know, scriptures speak about how shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very darkness and light in it. So the whole mindset and the lifestyle is going to switch up. That's why we're reading in Isaiah 24 that there's going to be a crying for wine in the street. Because man's wisdom isn't going to be able to protect him in the time that we're entering into. Alright? Man's wisdom isn't going to be able to protect him from all these demons that the Lord is going to unleash him. You know?
Jeremiah 17 and 18. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction, man. It's going to start off with their counsel. You know, all the wisdom that they had known is going to be confounded, man. And the Lord will ultimately destroy them off the earth. You know?
Jeremiah represents the prophets, man. So, you know, that was a curse that Jeremiah put on Israel. But that prayer, that's gonna be taking place today. You know, like the brother was saying. All these people that has been found to be incensed against us shall be confounded. You know?
And we won't be confounded because we're going to remember now the Creator in the days of our youth.
And this is the word of the Most High that endure forever. You know, so when it's darkness out here, the word of the Most High is still going to be a lamp unto our feet here in the valley, in this dark place. You know?
Now remind me of that account when Samuel came on the scene. It says the word of the Lord was precious in those days. So the same thing right now, man. The Lord is precious. The word of the Lord is precious right now because the destruction haven't came yet. So it's best to get it right now because the word is precious because this is able to save your soul, like it says in the book of James, man.
And like
Ultimately, you being part of the elect, you know.
Like somebody brought out earlier, and when that time comes, when it's famine, those men that remember this precious truth are going to be like gold and won't fear, bro.
As the heart of Egypt melts, meaning the American mind state, you know, it's gonna melt because it's especially gonna be destroyed with ICBM thermonuclear missiles. Verse 2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
And that's what the Lord is doing now. You know, brought about out earlier. You got the Democrats with the Republicans. You got the anti-Max versus the vaccinated.
Right.
You know, the Proud Boys versus Antifa. You know, so all these divisions in the earth is leading to your downfall, your kingdom, sir. You know, and this is all, you know, through the Spirit. You know.
All right. They shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom.
Now leads up with 2 Ezra 15. Swords in their hand, they shall fight against another. You know,
man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
And we seen that on the low level with these smashing grabs.
They're breaking into, you know, the high-end fashion stores and stealing all that they can. It was crazy because, you know, my brother came to visit and we went to, you know, Rodeo Drive. We was just looking at all this and I'm looking at it like, man, Jake about to fucking do this shit off. See, look at that, man. Man, get the jewelry spot. Maybe that's gonna amplify even worse and worse and worse, man.
Because of the want of bread, they're going to be following you to your car from the supermarket.
You know, it's all prophecy. And these jakes, these rebellious jakes, they break the Esau laws right now. People got helmets on, you're not supposed to
all you want, man, but if you're not doing nothing about it, it's null and void, man.
I was just saying that, you know, these rebellious jakes, you know, since we in Isaiah 19, let's go into the land that Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. These jakes, they're breaking Esau's laws now doing this shit. So what about when all hell breaks loose? They finna have that same energy of breaking laws and taking matters into their own hands.
It's going to be like Mad Max.
They get away with that? It's because what police officer is going to be able to get all those guys? You know?
They might grab a couple too.
One or two.
Oh yeah, there we go. Verse 17. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt.
Now it's not talking about the actual land of Judah, it's talking about wherever Judites are living. Whatever areas that they living in, that's going to be a terror unto this place, man.
Because Israelites is people before they're placed.
Right. And Jake is going to go buck wild. Like right now, Jake, he not really doing shit in Compton, Watts. I mean, they hit Long Beach. But Jake is over here in Beverly Hills, Fairfax District, West LA.
Hitting them
You see
fences.
that cop?
Yeah.
He can't be offended.
Yeah.
They gonna split.
We already seen that on a low level during the Rodney King riots, man.
Yep.
Judah was all busting all that, you know.
Yep.
And you notice the cop, usually these fucking feds, they put themselves in the forefront, establish their presence, their dominance. This motherfucker was on the side, hiding himself from the jigs that we just saw. And you had Northern tribes there too, man. Hey, Judah shall be the bow, Ephraim shall be the arrows. It's gonna be hand in hand. The tribe's gonna turn up on in this kingdom. We're gonna be reveling in this kingdom. We're not gonna take part in it. We're gonna observe and watch it all unfold with a smile on our faces. We know this place is going down.
Putting up drinks.
Yeah, we're gonna be popping wine bottles, sipping that because we know that this is all, this is all prophecy manifesting before our eyes.
Fulfillment.
Alright? Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because the council of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua host, which he has determined against him.
The council of Yahweh Hashem outside host that he has against him, talking about the prophecies, because he speaks about in Revelation 18, that great city shall go down with violence, roughly paraphrasing. So this is the determination of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Matter of fact, get 14 on that chapter. Because the Lord want to shake all this shit up. The whole normal and regular life and working and the holidays and the weekend and the paycheck and at the malls, at the shopping, Lord switching all that shit up. You can see the fear and dread in these people, You see the fear and dread in these people's eyes, man. I just went to go take a piss. And the Asian, you can just feel their spirit just terrified because I was walking with haste to use the bathroom. They don't know if they finna be the next ones.
The next.
You know what I mean? But that's the spirit here. So a lot of people was finna be having, because California is in a open or concealed carry state. So a lot of these people, they finna be
carrying.
They gonna rebel against their governors, their princes.
They prince, right?
The authority. They gonna say, shit, y'all not protecting us. We got weapons on us. We gotta go into those prophecies. Go ahead.
Alright, verse 14. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
Like the brother was saying, that perverse spirit. Here it is, you pull over these women. And that shows you how weak these cops is. You pull over the women. All them jakes that was on that motorcycle, breaking them all, doing wheelies, no helmet, making loud noise, breaking the audio decimal level.
Yeah.
Because your car can't make over a certain noise.
They call that noise pollution.
Noise pollution, You're supposed to have a helmet on, just like you're supposed to wear a seatbelt. Then they didn't pull over them. But the women and the child, the northern kingdom Issacharite, that probably ain't got her papers and shit.
Anyway.
Probably don't belong here, according to Esau. You pull her over.
Right. And that centurion hit himself from the rabble of Jakes, man. He hit himself. Usually they, like I brought out earlier, they are on the forefront. Establish their dominance, establish their presence, right? Yeah. But now that they were over there, now he's behind all the cars. He ain't trying to deal with that.
He's trying to deal with all that.
He ain't got time for that now.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But when it comes to tickets and oppressing the poor, man, with them on righteous decrees, that's when he want to get up, mount up to the prey. It reads, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
That's the LGBT, that alternative lifestyle. The Me Too movement, just the perverse, meaning the opposite of righteousness. The perverse spirit, and the Lord did that, man. All this stuff that's going on is because of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and the council that he have sanctioned against this place. Go ahead, bro.
Alright. They have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
Every work. Err, when you go into that, is sin. Sinning in every work. This place, that's why you read scriptures that speak about the sins that reach into the heavens, man. Because every work is full of sin and iniquity. Every work. Only work of righteousness is what we're doing right here on the highways and the byways, starting with our elders and apostles of great millstone. This is the righteousness.
God. as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
And they're drunken off the philosophies of the world, the ways of the world. They just drunk here, man. The wine of her fornication. They got bottoms up with their tongue out, drinking every drop of the shit, man.
Dregs.
They're drinking the dregs of the wine of her fornication. They're drunken. You see these people, look, they drunken with wearing a mask right now.
In the car.
Drunken. They're drunken with the two shot. They're drunken off of that.
Stagger. Going to and fro, man. You're not stable with what you know.
Not rooted, doesn't have a true foundation, not stable, unstable walk, man. Their walk is unstable. And ultimately they will fall. And the time comes when Yahweh Shema Shai hit that wind, they're gonna fall, man. Hey, imagine a drunk man, it's strong wind. It was strong wind where I was at. You know, fences buckling over and shit. The neighbors up telling me, you know, fences buckling over, man. Now, Lord, you know, spiritually gonna hit that wind by ways of these plagues. They're gonna be falling down, man.
Yeah.
They got a saying in the world, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall.
Continuing on. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. That's
No work. There ain't gonna be no work for Egypt. That the head or tail. The head is the people that's in the high level, and the tail is regular jakes.
Yep.
That's why you're seeing smash and grabs. That's amongst the work community and the black community and all that shit, reparations, all that shit, they don't have an answer. They don't know why it's happening. The spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah is telling us why things are happening. Why? Because there's no work in Egypt. All right? They're not investing into the infrastructure.
That's how you know everybody gonna be in the same position.
That's that economic collapse right there.
Yep. That upper
Like
class.
they showed you that movie Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yeah.
They lost their job and they ended up robbing people.
Robbing banks and and everybody.
And they had great jobs. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be the new people.
And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt.
See how that flow? See, ain't gonna be no work here, right?
Right.
For the head or the tail,
Yep.
meaning everybody. And then here come Judah, being a
comes
terror
Judah.
to Egypt.
This
That's,
is my
we living
favorite.
in this time right now, the beginning of that time. Right now.
I messed up and skipped the verse. Alright, but it's all gonna flow though with the spirit. Verse 16, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women. Hey, you know, you're a little, there a little, man. Hey, you're gonna be a terror. Egypt shall be like a woman, bro.
Well, men is emotional.
Yeah.
You
But
got women in military. You know.
yeah, but also too, spiritually speaking, Egypt shall be like unto women, meaning it's gonna be ravaged out here, man.
Con.
The American way of living, the American structure is gonna be ravaged, and that's rightly, and so rightly is America called the virgin daughter of Babylon, man. What is the virgin daughter to a man of war? Which is
Hey,
Yahweh
and that's why this area is shaking up so heavy with the smash and grabs, because that's going into that ancient besieging mentality. When you read about chicken besiege, and, because you only hear about 9, 10, 15 people running to a store. When the Roman siege of Jerusalem happened, you had the Romans encamp at Jerusalem by the thousands, by legions to do that. Went in there, they went to the temple, taking spoils, taking shit, women. We read about the Babylonian siege. You read about how Esau was pointing out places to burn down the temples, come on, raise it. That ancient, masculine, just terrible spirit coming back, man. And this place is a woman and feminine society. So everybody finna be shaken up. Egypt shall be as women.
I can